What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Run With Us Reviews. Sergio and Victor here at Run With Us, where we are breaking down the latest and greatest shoe releases in the running world. Today, we will be covering the HOKA One One Clifton Edge. Before we go any further, let me just break down a couple of the specs for you. The HOKA One One Clifton Edge comes in at 8.9 ounces for a men's size 9, and it also has a 5mm drop, which is right in line with the other HOKAs, and it is priced at $160, so it is on that more premium side of the scale. As we go into the Clifton Edge, the first thing we want to talk about is, and Sergio had the awesome experience of going to Colorado and realizing, what they were going to unveil. But this shoe is pretty much inspired by the HOKA 10.9, right?
Yes. I mean, they didn't exactly tell me that they were going to do this, or they didn't tell the world that they were going to put this, the back end of this, the heel. So if you look at the back of the heel, the way it's designed, it looks like a 10.9, the trail shoe that they were going to they actually had out in the market. It looks like they modified it though. It looks like they just, it's not so much pronounced. It looked like they modified it back in the back of the heel, and then they still kept this back end of this lip, kind of like the Clifton 7s. If you look at the heel neck here, what they did is they just kept it so they can hold that Achilles, just like the Clifton 7s. I'm not really sure. People haven't talked to us about what they felt about this back end of this shoe, because this is more of a speed shoe, so I'm not really sure why they would really add this.
I guess right off the bat, something that we want to cover is, it's nothing against this shoe specifically, but we do want to lead you guys in the right direction when you're thinking of what this shoe is for. So it's called the Clifton Edge. When you hear Clifton Edge, you think speed, right? And you also hear Clifton, so you think it's part of the Clifton, similar to the Clifton franchise. It's actually not. I actually wouldn't put it anywhere near the Clifton franchise. That's something like the Rincon, and that has way more similarities. This puppy is a whole new ball game. It's in its own category. I wouldn't classify it as a speed shoe the way you mentioned, but the purpose and the reasoning for this heel, it's actually a great reason, right, to reduce impact when you're heel striking. And even some of the best marathoners in the world heel strike. There's a ton of videos of amazing marathoners and runners that do heel strike. I don't really know if this is the greatest comparison, but what I kind of equate it to is almost like a plane kind of taking out its landing tires, and just to kind of ease and kind of get you on the runway. So it's great for downhill running, where you tend to land on your heels more, and also just for any runner that really tends to come in on their heel. And it's going to be super stable, right? When you look at the way it flares out, no matter where you're landing, it kind of centers you, right? So if you think of, being on a plane, you land and you're just, and then it centers out, and then bam, you're nice and
that was
smooth.
that same idea from the 10.9, from the trail for the longer distance running shoe. And again, it was more pronounced, but when I had that on my foot and I was hitting and I was striking, especially going like downhill, I felt, just like you said, it felt like an addition. So it kept me really balanced. I didn't need to worry about where I was gonna put my foot. My heel was gonna go on the outside, and it didn't matter. I just would plant it, and it just did everything for me.
It like centers out by yourself.
Right,
yeah.
so I think that's what they did here, is they just minimized it, and when they minimized it, you hit that heel, and then it strikes, and then it just rolls you off, and it keeps you stable. It can be confusing, because some people do hit the heel strike, even if you're a professional. Some people don't like that. Like the Carbon X doesn't have it. The Carbon X has nothing to do with back here. It has that Carbon X, and it flows.
Yeah.
Even the upper is super light on the Carbon X, so it's kind of like a different category, like what you're saying.
It's just a whole different category of shoe. It's going to be durable. It's going to be something that you can really train in. If you're not looking for that super plush Clifton kind of feel, it doesn't feel as pillowy as the Clifton, right?
Yeah.
You're going to bounce back quicker, and a lot of that has to do, so just going into the midsole, you got this nice cushion layer, this gray kind of piece of the shoe is still nice and soft, but it is a dual density shoe, so you get this pink and orange color. It's going to be a bouncier density. They use a rubberized EVA outsole, which has always been one of my favorite foams that HOKA has used. So that's actually why today I actually brought the original fully rubberized, actually midsole and outsole of this bad boy, the HOKA Waka. So anybody that's familiar with HOKA's history. It knows that this shoe is awesome.
That's right.
But it's bouncier, it's springier, and that's what they added to this one, where something like the Clifton
Right.
or the Rincon don't have.
And look where they put it at, Victor. So if you notice, like Victor was saying, is they're putting a rubberized material right in the right spot. So they're putting it right where the toe box is at. They're also putting it kind of in the midfoot. So if you strike there, and then obviously they put it in the back of the heel, just in case you heel strike. So you try to make a mistake in this shoe, it won't punish you. It really will help you out. And that's what I like about the shoe.
Yeah, no, that's a really good way to put it. So on top, like next to your foot, that nice soft foam right on the ground gives you that nice springy reaction, and gives you that more lively midsole. Taking some time to go into the upper. It is an engineered mesh upper where it tightens up in all the right places. It is nice and breathable. It has this TPU yarn in the forefoot, so it just adds a little bit of more protection and durability to that upper right around this area. You'll find it a little bit throughout the shoe, so it just kind of gives you that extra structure in the upper to really give you a nice lockdown. But it fits well. It's nice and breathable. I do wish the tongue was just a little bit longer, because it just kind of sits like right there. It barely makes it. It sits just right, but sometimes I'm nervous that it's going to kind of sink. It hasn't, but I was always nervous that it would kind of slide in a little bit. That wraps up our review of the Clifton Edge. If you have any questions, comments, make sure to shoot them our way, and we're happy to chat with you. Always just come in and chat with us about running, training, all kinds of stuff. We love it. So if you have any questions, just shoot them our way. And Sergio and Victor, we'll catch you on the next review. So.
Bye, guys. See you soon.